Welcome to another exciting edition of American Warrior Radio, the place to be for news, notes, interviews, and current events for all issues military and veteran related. If you or someone you know has ever worn the uniform of the U.S. Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, Coast Guard, or National Guard or Reserves, you've come to the right place. American Warrior Radio, right here on the Talk to Me station, AM 1300 WMEL, and online worldwide at 1300WMEL.com, sponsored by AVET Project. Folks, you know this. This program is all about supporting our troops and their families, both past and present. So please, get comfortable, grab a nice beverage, and don't forget that pen and paper, because Glenn and I are always efforting to bring you important information that you can use and share with others. With that said, let's roll down the runway and get this show off the ground. Y'all know me, I'm Garen Cohn. I'm an Air Force veteran, a retired legal advocate for veterans, and founder of AVET Project. But you regular listeners of American Warrior Radio also know that I never fly through the airwaves alone.
Good morning, I'm Glenn McGuffey. I'm retired Air Force, and I'm a retired manager of the Brevard County Veteran Services team, where it was my honor to help our veterans and their eligible family members obtain or maximize their opportunity to obtain benefits earned by service to the veteran to our great country. And I did that for about 22 plus years. I'm also retired for Social Security purposes, if you're interested. And today we have another great show for you.
Holy cow, do we?
Oh, and do we have some announcements for you about all kinds of exciting events focused at the veteran community and their families. And Garen's going to start that off for you.
It's going to take both of us. It's a long list.
It's a long list, so go for it.
Get your pen handy. First, I got to mention to everybody, SCCLS. That stands for Space Coast Community Law School. These are free legal information seminars offered by SCCLS, presented by Telfer Faraday, Anderson Hawkins. They're attorneys out of Titusville, and a number of people get together. The Brevard Bar Foundation, obviously WMEL Radio, American Warrior Radio, Florida Design Group, Cooper Chiropractic. These are free informational seminars. All you got to do is show up. Go online. That's important, right? We should tell them to go online now.
Yeah, just go online and get the information, and you're strongly encouraged to register for each one of these that you might want to go to.
Because they do fill up fast. The venue's changed. It's a little bit smaller, but it's out there in the county government complex.
Building D, Delta.
Yeah. Building D, Delta. And you can get a look at all the classes, because we don't have time to go through them all today. But go to SCCLS, Sierra, Charlie, Lima, Sierra.com and register. And while you're there, look at all the upcoming seminars, everything from personal injury law, business law, immigration law, intellectual property, Brevard County planning and zoning, First Amendment, U.S. Constitution. I attended this last Thursday's Fourth Amendment, and they also discussed marijuana with Robert Anderson from Telfer Faraday, Anderson Hawkins. And I got to tell you, he did a phenomenal job. He's quite the storyteller. Well, all of these seminars are phenomenal. Go online, register, sccls.com.
What's the next one coming up?
Next one is Gay Rights in Florida and Family Law by General Magistrate Kurt Erlenbach.
Okay, and folks, this is from 6 to 8 o'clock in the evening. And again, it's in Building D, Delta, out in the County Government Center in Viera. Please register and attend. You're going to get a great amount of free information, legal advice.
And it's clearly marked with signs, so you won't get lost out there. Like I said, it's changed from the jury assembly room. Now it's in the D, the Delta building. But let's carry on. We got a bunch to talk about. VRC, Veteran Resource Council or Committee, I think it's VRC, of the Melbourne Chamber, has a breakfast coming up on April 15th. If you're interested in attending this, it's just a small charge, and there's a wonderful speaker lined up. Go online, either go through the Melbourne Chamber, easy enough to find, or avetproject.org. Click on the Facebook icon. You'll see all the information there. It's also posted on American Warrior Radio's Facebook page. That's coming up on April 15th.
Easy to remember, tax day.
Yeah, get a little relief from tax day and go to the VRC's breakfast. Glenn, we've got the big reunion coming up also. There's a lot happening that weekend, but the reunion runs, when do they escort the wall?
They're going to escort the wall on the 19th, and I would encourage you during that time, which is usually in the morning, not to drive on Wickham Road because there'll be 1,000 motorcycles escorting the wall down there.
Yes, indeed.
As it should be, in honor to our Vietnam brothers and sisters. And it's going to be April 23 through 26. Live music, food, drinks, military vendors, POW, MIA ceremonies, last patrol. Of course, the wall will be there.
And folks,
it's a small depiction of the main wall that's in Washington, D.C.
Yeah, like 1/5 scale or something.
Yeah, and this is the 28th annual reunion.
And it's going to be bigger and better than ever.
You bet. And
how much does it cost to attend, Glenn?
Free.
Free. Okay, you make these notes. Just jot down there, free. American Warrior Radio brought you free stuff to do for you and your family.
Absolutely, and that's the 23rd through the 26th of this month of April. And there's going to be tons of stuff to do out there for free.
That's right, and your AVET Project's going to have our booth set up with some delicious Mexican food, so you want to stop by.
Oh, wow, great.
Help us help them. And you've been hearing the promos. Thank you, Vince and John Harper with WMEL, for putting the promo out there on the air about the VVB's 28th annual National Veterans Reunion. That same weekend, on the 25th, this is another extraordinarily important event, one that you supported in your professional sense for many years, and that is?
That's a stand down for homeless veterans, and that'll be in Cocoa, the National Guard Armory, and
right off of Fisk and 520.
Fisk and 520, you can't miss it, and there'll be a ton of cars parked out there because we always get a ton of volunteers, somewhere in the neighborhood of 200 volunteers, and close to that surge in the number of homeless veterans. It's going to be a great event, and it provides for our homeless veterans. It gives them many things that they need to survive as a homeless person, sleeping bags and covers for the ground and food and lots of canned food so that they can take it with them, and so forth. There'll be medical care there.
Exactly. Chiropractic, Dr. Lance Armstrong, go Dr. Armstrong. He's usually there.
Yeah, haircuts, back massages, the whole 9 yards, and help for VA claims.
Always a big one. So that's on the 25th. If you want to plan to help out, please do so. Get in touch with the folks at the VMC, Veterans Memorial Center. The same day, jam-packed day, 25th, again, is the Melbourne Arts Show. And, of course, WMEL is going to be there on site.
Yeah, we're going to be broadcasting from there, so you can come out and meet us and see our ugly mugs. And, it's going to be a great day. It always is at that Melbourne Art Show. Wow, what a big event that is.
No kidding. We're looking forward to that. Also, I have to mention that Captain Jim Ross every Saturday has a program here that y'all know about, especially if you're into fishing or outdoors. Catch a Memory Outdoors every Saturday from 7:30 to 9:30, and he's going to have me on here soon talking about the big Kids on the Water event coming up out there at Wickham Park. It's important because we need fishermen. We need people that know how to work with kids, and whether you're an experienced angler or a guide or somebody that just enjoys being around kids, please dial us up next Saturday, because yours truly is going to be making an appearance on Catch a Memory Outdoor Show with Captain Jim Ross. So listen for that. Glenn, we got to get into the heart of the matter, but before we do, because we've got a special segment every second Saturday of every month, we bring Journey of the Spirit to you with Director of Counseling for AVET Project, Joanne Ivins. She's going to be coming up here at the bottom of the hour, and time is slipping by. So stay tuned for that for sure, but we got to get into this subject because Tricare, what is Tricare?
Tricare is the insurance for military members and their families while they're on active duty, and it's the insurance for military retirees and their families after they're off active duty. It's also insurance for those rated 100%. the families of those rated 100%. Remember, if you're rated 100% service-connected disabled by VA, only the VA can provide you the care unless they refer you somewhere, but you still have to get a referral.
And so if a service member is retired from the military without longevity, without 20 years or more like you did,
Right.
but maybe they suffered a catastrophic injury or something, and they only had 4 years, and they get Tricare, right?
If they're retired, as long as you got a retired military ID card. And just a quick reminder, you must be rated by the VA 30% or greater after you are medically discharged from the military in order to qualify for military retirement. That's both pay and access to health care and the pharmacy and all those things, and the base, of course.
Right, a very, very important benefit. Well, here's the news, people. On May 1st, the folks that are in charge of Tricare are contemplating, I won't say threatening, but they're contemplating making a very major change and either capping or restricting / limiting Tricare beneficiaries to a particular benefit, and that is compounded medications.
Yeah, and we had that on the show 2 or 3 shows ago and talked to you about that, and had the manager of that program on the show and telling you what a wonderful alternative this is for you.
Exactly, and I have in my hands right now, all of you looking at this on YouTube, you can see I've got the combination pain medicine in my hand right here. It's a compound. That means it's like the old days, Glenn, when the pharmacist actually mixed the medicine up into a mortar and pestle, and
yeah, exactly.
The real deal.
Like you see on the old-timey TV shows.
Well, this particular Balanced RX, okay, that's the company. You can look them up, www.balancedrx.com. If you are a Tricare beneficiary, the types of issues that are served by this particular compound medication, because there's a variety of there is a variety of medicines that they put together, but the issues, they've got creams for everything from dermatological conditions, dermatitis, pain syndromes, migraines, radiculopathy, shingles, TMJ, just
Parkinson's, anxiety disorders. It's a whole page here. I'm amazed.
And this is stuff that's compounded specially for you. It's easy to access. You can go to balancedrx.com, or you can contact them at 855-777-7998. 855-777-7598. 7998. I'll do that again.
Yeah, one more time.
Well, my producer interrupted me for no apparent reason. 855-777-7998. It's real important that you do this, because if Tricare makes a change, Glenn, what's your experience? Have they ever said, oh, gee, let's give you more benefits?
No, it's been cut for the past decade at least. And of course, let me tell you, it's not Tricare that's doing the cutting in all cases. It's Congress that's doing the cutting.
So if you, let's say I'm a retiree like you, Glenn, or some young gun that just got severely injured and is now medically retired from the military, and they're getting Tricare, and they don't like hearing this, what can they do?
Well, they can go to their congressman, who here is Bill Posey, and their senators, that's Nelson and Rubio, and let them know your displeasure with that, and or, on the positive side, your support for this kind of optional help for medical problems that you're experiencing.
And what number, if they wanted to call Tricare to check on their availability or what have you, is there a number for them?
You bet. 1-800-444-5445. That's 1-800-444-5445, and that's the South region for Tricare, and you'll get started there and go from there based on your conversation with them.
And I want to give you another number for Balanced RX. Write this down, please. If you're a Tricare beneficiary, or you know somebody that is, that could benefit from a type of medicine that is not contraindicated with whatever other type of medicines they're taking. These are creams that you can put on the affected area, whether it's for a migraine, wound care, scarring, pain, and it doesn't filter through your body like regular pills do. So there's no contraindications here. call this number. Call and speak to Paul. 229-886-1181. 229-886-1181. You'll be talking directly to Balanced RX, and he'll get you hooked up. A doctor will call you back, and boom, the meds show up in the mail in just a matter of days, and then you're living better through better medicine.
Exactly, and it's a great option, and it should be made available, and it should be covered by Tricare.
Should not be restricted. Okay, I don't know why people are trying to take benefits away from our military men and women, but they got to stop doing that.
Yeah, they've been increasing the cost of copays for medicines that you might get at the pharmacy downtown rather than on base, and that's horrible.
Exactly, and we're going to have lots more coming to you regarding announcements, because the big Kids on the Water event is coming up at Wickham Park on May 17th, but we've got a little time to prep you on that. But Glenn, we've just got a few minutes before Journey of the Spirit with Joanne Ivins. We got to talk about some of this stuff going on with the VA. I got a handful of papers here where they're telling me I can no longer submit a claim willy-nilly. I've got to follow their rules and guidelines.
Yeah, and supposedly this is going to speed up the claims processing, make it more like I'm reading some stuff from the VA here.
Please.
Make it more like other government agencies, where if you use a certain form, it's for a certain type claim, and maybe that makes sense. Except, I can give you some exceptions when we have more time. But in a nutshell, not a nutshell.
Either way works for me.
Standardized claims. There's a specific form for disability claims that has to be used. A specific different form for survivor claims. Different form for pension claims. A different form for notice of disagreement, which is the first step in appeal of a decision the VA makes that you disagree with. And then a specific form for intent to file, used to be called informal claim. That's a way of protecting your start date and giving you up to a year to collect the evidence you need to make a strong, winnable claim. Now, let me tell you that you can do this on e-benefits, but you cannot do pension claims on e-benefits.
Yeah, say that again, Glenn.
You can't do a pension claim on e-benefits. You got to fill the form out and mail it to the pension center in Philadelphia.
And again, I think e-benefits has a place in our world today, but Glenn and I both strongly urge you, not encourage, urge you to see an accredited representative, regardless of what the issue is, before the VA, because here's another perfect example. The liberal application of the law used to say something to the effect that if you wanted to make a claim for whatever benefit it was, you could literally write it on a cocktail napkin, so long as you provided certain information, send it to them, and they had to act on it and develop it.
Yep.
They're no longer going to do that.
And they're adamant about it.
Oh yeah, they're not kidding around.
They're not going to accept it. And unfortunately, it could be 3 months or so before
you
they
hear
write
they
you back and say, no, you got to use this form we're sending to you.
What's happened in the interim?
What's happening in the interim is you lost effective date.
Okay. Do you understand that, people? We're talking real money here, real benefits that are going to be denied you if you don't follow these new specific, well, I can't say regulations, forms. Let's just call them forms.
Yeah, forms. I guess I'll get around to amending the regulations and manuals, but this is so new. March 24th is when this was thrown into effect, and it was thrown into effect in such a quick manner that a lot of volunteer service officers may not have yet gotten the word. And if you're a volunteer service officer out there, help us get the word out to other volunteer service officers.
I happen to have in my hand a VA Form 21, which is the VBA administrative type nomenclature there, 21-0966. This is intent to file a claim for compensation and or pension or survivor's pension and or DIC. As a representative, yeah, I have to fill this out to let them know that this is what I want to do. I can't just put it on a piece of letterhead anymore.
Yeah, and you can't use that VA Form 214138, which is a claimant form that most people used before for an informal claim, which is now again called intent to file.
Exactly. So you've heard all that talk about the FDC, fully developed claim. You're not going to have an FDC if you don't file each piece of this paperwork specific to the issue you're claiming.
Yeah, and in a sense, it's taken away from veterans because they won't know these things, and they're not accepting the cocktail napkins, and it may take quite a while before you get some correspondence back telling you, no, can't do it that way. You got to do it on a form, and here's the form. While we're talking here, I want to throw something in that's very important because I ran across a couple cases recently, and that's if you're a service-connected veteran and you have to go to the emergency room for care for your service-connected disability, you only have 72 hours to contact the VA. In this case, you could contact the clinic out here in Viera.
And get their name.
And get the name of the person you're talking to. You can even call the 1-800-827-1000 number if you ever get through. And let them know that you're in the emergency room, or a family member can let them know that you're in the emergency room, so that the VA can pick up the bill if it's emergency care for service-connected disability, or you're rated 100% service-connected for any disability. And 72 hours, and that includes weekends and holidays, so in some cases that's like 24 hours.
Right, and you must get the name of the individual you speak to when you get somebody from the VA on the line, and note the obviously the day and time you call.
Yeah, and ask for their badge number.
Yeah, good luck with that.
Yeah. Well, at least get their name, because
yes, please. You got to be able to come back and no, I talked to Mary Jo Ellen on this day and time.
Yeah, there's a propensity for them not to remember you called because somebody doesn't write the note down and give it to the right person.
Well, anyway, real quick on the 526, the initial claim. Yeah, we're running out of time. I got 8 pages here under this new format, and if you don't file it right, you're going to mess with your effective date.
See an accredited agent. That's the main thing.
Exactly. So we got a lot more coming to you on American Warrior Radio, especially the news segment we all enjoy so much, Journey of the Spirit with Joanne Ivins. Stay tuned for that right after the break. Don't go anywhere. American Warrior Radio is coming right back at you.
Okay. Well, we got some of what I had notes for. 2/3 of it. That's pretty good.
For what we do around